In math today, we are learning about area and perimeter. We're going to start on Seesaw by finding our task. You will click Activities, Assign to Class folder, Math blue, and today our task is Lesson 16-4. Please find your lesson and open it up. And when you open your task, you will see a slide that says with your teacher. Please follow along for the lesson so that you know how to do your work independently today. Go to slide 2. On slide 2, you will see an example page. Here is a word problem that will teach us all about area and perimeter for today's task. It says, Beth, Marcia, and Nancy build rectangular pens for their rabbits. Each pen has a perimeter of 12 feet. Which rectangular pen has the greatest area? So the past few days, we have been talking about how different shapes can have the same area, the same space inside, with a different perimeter. Today, we're going to talk about what happens if the shapes have the same perimeter, but different area. So let's look at this example together. First, let's focus on Beth. This is the pen that Beth built for her rabbit. She built a pen that is one row with 5 square units inside it. So when Beth adds the perimeter, she adds 5 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1. She gets a perimeter of 12 feet. Maybe it's a fence around the pen to keep the rabbit safe. She has a perimeter of 12 feet. Now, let's look at Nancy. Nancy's pen looks different than Beth's. I can see just by looking at it, Nancy's pen is a different shape than Beth's pen. So I noticed that Nancy built a pen that is 2 rows, 4 squares in each. So when Nancy puts a fence around her pen to protect her rabbit, she adds 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2. When she adds those together, she also has a perimeter of 12 feet. But her pen looks different than Beth's, and the area is different than Beth's. Beth has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 square units inside. Nancy's pen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 square units inside. Let's look at Marcia's now. Marcia's rabbit pen looks different than Nancy's and different than Beth's. I notice Marcia built a pen that is 3 rows, 3 square units in each. To find the perimeter so she can build a fence around her pen, Marcia adds 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Marcia finds out she also has a perimeter of 12 feet. So she needs 12 feet of fence to keep her rabbit safe. But the area of her shape is different than Nancy's, and it's different than Beth's. Let's look at the area of Marcia's pen. Let's count the units inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all 3 girls have different shapes. They have different areas, but they all need the same amount of fence to keep their rabbit safe for the perimeter around the shape. They all need 12 feet of fencing. Our question asked us which rectangular pen has the greatest area. I notice that Beth has an area of 5 square units. Nancy has an area of 8 square units inside her pen. And Marcia has an area of 9 square units. So Marcia has the greatest area inside. When Marcia puts her rabbit inside the pen, she will have the most room for the rabbit to run and play and eat its food. This is an example of what we're going to do today. Next, we need to click on slide 3 to do an example together. This slide says, with your teacher, whatever I draw on my seesaw, you draw on your seesaw. The directions say, draw a different rectangle with the same perimeter as the one shown. Then tell which rectangle has the greatest area. Okay, they have shown me a rectangle over here. I see it has a length of 5 meters and a width of 3 meters. So the first thing I want to do, I want to find the perimeter around this example. I'm going to use red so it can help me see the perimeter. The perimeter is all the distance around the shape. If the bottom is 5 meters, the top is 5 meters. If the right is 3 meters, the left is 3 meters. Now I can add all the sides together to find the perimeter. My P stands for perimeter, so 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3. Please fill in your length plus width plus width. As Gloria has shared out, when we add up all the side lengths, we get a distance of 16 meters. Now I can find the area of my green shape. And I can do this pretty quickly because we have practiced area for a few days now. I know I can find the area by multiplying length times width. When I multiply 5 times 3, I get a product of 15. And I know that I write area using square units. And I'm going to check to see if my problem gave me units. Yes, it did. It said they measured in meters. So I'm going to say that in my area answer. 15 square meters. After we have found the area and perimeter of the green shape, we need to go back to our directions. My directions tell me to draw a different rectangle with the same perimeter as the one shown. So they showed me the green one. My job now is to draw a different shape, a different rectangle that has the same perimeter. Remember our example from the textbook? Beth, Nancy, and Marcia all have different shapes, but they have the same perimeter. All of them had 12 feet around their shape. We're going to do that same thing. So first I need to think, what was my perimeter for the green shape? And I'm going to go back and look. I see it says 16 meters. So now I need to draw a model. I'm going to do a blue shape because I like blue. I'm going to draw a model to the right because my directions say to draw a different rectangle. I have done that now. And they want me to show it with the same perimeter as the one shown. The green rectangle has a perimeter of 16. So I'm going to do some guessing and checking here. I'm trying to think about 4 numbers that I can add together that will get me to 16. And they have to be different numbers than 5, 5, 3, and 3. Remember, we're drawing a different shape than the one we were shown. So I'm trying to think about what numbers I could use if I'm doing a perimeter of 16. I'm going to think hard about this. I'm wondering if there's somebody who can help me. Are there any ideas about what numbers we could put along the side to equal a perimeter, a distance of 16? Haley, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking if we can do 1 times 16.
Okay, so Haley, what you're thinking of is 1 with 16 in it. And Haley, you're thinking of area. That would be 16 units inside. But we're talking about perimeter right now. So if I had this and I did 16 on both sides, if I add 16 plus 16, oh my goodness, that's going to be so huge. My perimeter can only be 16. So that cannot be correct. We're looking for 4 numbers that add up to 16. Ashley, what are you thinking?
What about like 2 and 10?
Ashley's thinking about some numbers that could maybe work. So what if we tried 10, 10, 2, and 2? Let's do a quick add to see what the perimeter would be. 10 plus 10 is 20. Oh my, that's already bigger than 16. That's not going to work. 10 is too great. I'm going to show you a trick, boys and girls, that you can use. If we look at the one that was given to us, the first number we were given was 5. I can think about, with my new shape, going up a number or down a number. I'm going to go down a number. I'm going to say, what if this was 4? If the top is 4, I know the opposite side is also 4. So right now I have 4 plus 4. That gives me 8. I'm going to subtract 8 and see what I have left to use. 16 minus 8 is 8. Okay, so I could do it again. I could split 8 into 2 groups, 4 and 4, for my left and right sides. Okay, now I'm starting to understand. I know that if I add 4 groups of 4, I will get a product of 16. So let's check our work here. if this is my shape and I have a length of 4 and a width of 4, I will add 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. I am correct. That gives me a perimeter of 16 meters. I notice that it's different than the green shape they gave me. They have the same perimeter, but it's going to be a different area. I'm going to check by doing the area of this shape. To find the area, I multiply length times width. 4 times 4. When we multiply 4 times 4, it gives us a product of 16. When I'm writing area, I need to write the square and the units. So 16 square, what are my units? Oh, that's right. I'm measuring in meters. 16 square meters. Perfect. Go ahead and check your example. Make sure it matches mine. Now I have done the first part of my directions that tell me to draw a different rectangle with the same perimeter. The one I drew is different than the one they showed me, but they both have a perimeter of 16 meters. Now I need to think about my directions again. The next part says, tell which rectangle has the greater area. So now my brain is thinking about the area, about which shape has the most space inside. So I notice the shape that they showed me, the green shape. We found the area was 15 square meters. That means there is 5 square meters in each row. And there are 3 rows. 5, 10, 15 square units inside. Now I look at the rectangle we drew. I have 4 rows, and there are 4 square units in each. 4, 8, 12, 16 square units. I know that the one I drew, the one we worked on together, has the greater area. I can just circle it to show that this one has the greater area. We are ready to do another example. Please look at slide 5. We're going to do number 7 together. The directions say to use grid paper to draw 2 different rectangles. Just like we did together, we're going to try that again. Draw 2 different rectangles with the given perimeter. So where do they give us the perimeter? I see it right here, 10 inches. Go ahead and put a box around 10 inches. Then we're going to tell the dimensions of each rectangle. That means we label our length and our width. Then we're going to circle the one that has the greater area, the most amount of space inside. So let's get started. I want you to pick a color. I'm going to do red this time. And we're going to draw one rectangle on the left side of our screen. Don't forget, they tell us the perimeter. It says 10 inches. I'm thinking about a shape that I could draw. where I can add up all 4 sides and it will equal 10. So I can do some quick guessing and checking. I'm thinking, what if I only had 1 on each side? Would that give me a perimeter of 10? No, that's only 4. That's not enough. Okay. What if I did 3 on each side? Let's go up a little bit. Let's try 3 on each side. Would that give me a perimeter of 10? 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh man, 12 is too much perimeter. That's too big. So some of my numbers need to go down. I'm wondering, what if a couple of them got smaller? What if I kept 3 plus 3? And then I could go down a number like 2. Let's try that. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 more is 8, plus 2 more is 10. Oh, I found it. I could have a perimeter of 10 if I add 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. So now I'm going to draw that. I'm going to choose 3 as my width on my left side. So using my grid lines, I'm going to count the squares as I draw the line. So here I go. I'm going to start here. And I'm going to put 3 on the left and 3 on the right. So 1, 2, 3 rows on the left. And so if I have 3 on the left, 3 on the right, that means I need to put my 2's, I need to put them on the top. So I'm going to go over 1, 2. Now I need to finish it to make my shape. 1, 2. So top and bottom are both 2. And left and right have a distance of 3. Perfect. Awesome. I'm going to go check my directions to see what it asked me to do. It says to draw 2 different rectangles. Okay, we're working on 1 right now. With the given perimeter, I did that. I have a perimeter of 10. Then it says, tell the dimensions and the area of each rectangle. Oh, okay. So I labeled my length and width. I did that part. Now I need to find the area of the rectangle. Okay, I see my place for area. Area equals length times width. So let's plug in my length and width here. 3 times 2. I know that gives me a product of 6 square. Do I have any units? I don't see units. I'm just going to use the word units. My area is 6 square units. And my perimeter, I know, is equal to 10. That's what the problem asks me to do. Okay, let's pause here. Let's make sure we have 1 rectangle drawn with the perimeter of 10, where you labeled the length and the width, and then you found the area inside. Go ahead and check. Okay, I have checked my first rectangle. I know my problem asks me to draw 2 different rectangles with the same perimeter. My first perimeter is 10, so I need 10 in my perimeter again with a new shape. So if my first one had 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2, I'm wondering if maybe I, on my second one, could make my left and right a little longer and my top and bottom shorter to still get 10. I have an idea. I'm going to try some different numbers. I'm going to pick blue for this one. And in the right space of my screen, I'm going to try it. Instead of 3 rows, I'm going to try 4. I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And my top, instead of it being 2 columns, I'm going to try only 1 column. I'm going to go over 1 square unit. Then I'm going to finish my rectangle and check to see, does this add up to a perimeter of 10? I'm going to use my perimeter equation to help me. If the left side is 4, the right side is 4. If the top has a distance of 1, the bottom has a distance of 1. Now I'm going to add all 4 sides together to see what the distance is. Here we go. 4 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1. Let's do the math. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 2 more is 10. Yes, we did it. We have a perimeter of 10. Awesome. I thought my idea would work. Okay, check that you have created a different rectangle with the distance around being 10 inches. Okay, it's time to find the area of my shape. I just found the perimeter. Now I can find the area. I know I can count inside. I count 1, 2, 3, 4. I know also I can multiply the length times the width. So 4 times 1, my area is 4 square units. And you know what, boys and girls? Earlier I said we didn't have units. I forgot that they told me we're measuring in inches. I'm actually going to go back and rewrite my area for my first one. Square inches. I want to make sure I'm doing my work correctly. And then for the rectangle, I drew 4 square inches. I'm going to squeeze it in there. That's my area. I've got the area for both. Okay. We have just drawn 2 different rectangles. We told the dimensions of the perimeter, and we found the area of each. My last job says to circle the one that has the greater area. So let's compare them. The red one has 6 square inches. The blue one has 4 square inches. So I know that this one has the most space inside. It has the greater area. Awesome job. Go ahead and check your work. Okay, today, boys and girls, your work time. Starting on slide 6, it says independently for a grade. Go to slide 7. You need to complete slide 7, slide 8, and slide 9 by yourself today. Slide 7 is just like the one we did together. So if you need an example, you can go back and look. Slide 8, they give you one rectangle. They want you to use that rectangle to draw a different one. Slide 9, you need to try, but it's a challenge. This one might be tricky to some people. And don't forget to reflect on your success today. This is a hard skill, boys and girls. It's okay if you don't feel like you're totally getting it. It's a difficult week of math, and that's okay. I want to see your focused attention, showing your best try for slides 7, 8, 9, and then reflect on slide 10.